Okay, so I'm going to try and do this a little bit unscripted. These are some live, genuine reactions to the newly announced LEGO Marvel Spider-Man 76178 Daily Bugle. Hot damn, this thing looks great. So some basic information I have is it's 3,772 pieces. It's going to retail for $299 US and $400 Canadian. I know they're in New Zealand. That's like $550, which is a lot less than I thought it would be. So that's pretty cool. And it says that it's available May 26th for VIP members and June 1st for regular members. Or regular people, I guess, sorry. Yeah, we have another new Marvel D2C. We don't really get a lot of these. We got the Helicarrier in I'm not too sure when. I think it tied in with Age of Ultron. Oh, and then we got the Hulkbuster, which was also based on Age of Ultron's one. I didn't get either of those. I didn't care for those. I don't remember how many DC's gotten. We got the Batcave, which looked really cool based on the TV series, but Marvel's this is Marvel's year, man. We just did a video on the new Marvel sets that are coming out, and they look really cool. And this is everything that I want as a LEGO Marvel fan. So as I kind of briefly mentioned in that, I like the MCU, but I'm a 2000s Ultimates Marvel kid. I grew up with X-Men and Fantastic Four, and specifically Spider-Man and Spider-Man's friends. All of the New York people is kind of who I grew up with, and those are the superheroes that I attach myself to. So seeing this, yeah, this is really exciting. So we'll just get the really cool part out of the way first, which are the minifigures, because hot damn, yeah, we obviously have Spider-Man. It just seems to be the usual one that's out in all of these new sets. And then we have, going in order from the top left down to the bottom, we have the Punisher, Daredevil, Mysterio, Blade, Doc Ock, Venom, is Carnage. We get a Peter, Aunt May, Gwen Stacy, a Miles Morales. It says Ghost Spider, but it's Spider-Gwen, Firestar, Spider-Ham, Black Cat, Betty Brant, J. Jonah Jameson, Ben Urich, Robbie Robertson, Ron Barney, Bernie the Cab Driver, Amber Grant, Green Goblin, and Sandman. Oh, man, it's like the Death Star. Right, so there's a lot of figures there to go through. A lot of them are characters that we're already familiar with. A lot of them are new prints of characters that we have just already received in prior sets. Like, I see that the Spider-Ham there is the exact same as the newest one. That Miles Morales just came out in that little mech set that he was in. It looks like that Sandman is in the Juniors one. The Green Goblin was a couple years back. Also, just another Carnage. But it's cool to have like the comic Mysterio and stuff. I didn't pick up most of those Marvel Spider-Man sets, so if it'd be cool to just get this one and grab all of them, because I did want the new Mysterio and the new Doc Ock. The obvious ones to praise here are Punisher, Daredevil, Blade, and Black Cat. I don't think we've had a Black Cat in something before, but Blade, Punisher, and Daredevil. Oh my god, Daredevil. It's so cool to have more of Spider-Man's friends. If you include, like, if you grab like a Doctor Strange, or you grab like a Wolverine, you put them in here as well. I love all of the New York-based superheroes that just hang out with Spidey. It's just so cool that we're getting those characters specifically. Characters that were deemed way too violent and way too adult for LEGO to even consider doing stuff on. Basically Marvel Knights characters. Punisher, Daredevil, and Blade. Those are the edgy adult Marvel Knight characters. I'm really happy. These figures are so cool. But some of these figures are some deep cuts, so I thought I would just kind of go over some of them for some people that wouldn't be super familiar with them. Firestar is a pretty big obvious one. She debuted in the 80s animated TV show. Kind of similar to like Harley Quinn, but Harley Quinn's obviously a bit more popular than Firestar, so that was where she debuted, and she's one of Spider-Man's friends. We have Betty Brant, who is the personal secretary of J. Jonah Jameson. You've definitely seen her in either of the series of movies, though she's played she's a teenager in the new Marvel ones, not like an adult working for J. Jonah, so I guess she'll grow up in that universe to go to the Bugle. Ben Urich is a private investigator. I think he was in the Daredevil movie, but he's primarily involved with Daredevil. He's involved with Spider-Man, but I've always associated him as like a Daredevil character, and you definitely would have seen him in the Netflix show. He was one of the people taking down Kingpin, so it's cool to get him. We also have Robbie Robertson. He was like J. Jonah's right-hand man. He was in the Sam Raimi ones. He was kind of the guy who seems to allude to the fact that he's figured it out before anybody else.
Chief, I found Parker.
Where you been? Looking for you all morning. Why don't you pay your phone bill? Mad scientist goes berserk and we don't have pictures.
I heard Spider-Man was there.
And then we also have what has been classed as a group of civilians, where we have Bernie the cab driver, Amber Grant, and Ron Barney. But apparently each of these characters have also got some sort of interactions with Spider-Man in the comics, just like some brief one-offs, or just in the Marvel comics in general. But I think these guys are just like these are your civs that you would get in like the agent sets back in the day, you know, so that the Sinister Six here, I guess, can kind of take these guys down, and Spidey and friends have to save these guys. I'm sorry if I rambled there, but you get the picture. You have some extra civilians that Spider-Man and friends can help rescue. We get a new J. Jonah, which looks really cool. We get a Peter, a Gwen, and an Aunt May. We don't get a Mary Jane. Interesting. And like the bridge, which was previously, I think, renowned as being the best Spider-Man set, which is now going to be knocked down to second place. It's cool that we're getting a Miles and we're getting a Spider-Gwen as well as Spider-Man. So you're getting a couple of extra Spider-Verse type characters, and that's always good in these Spider-Man sets. I'm looking at the manual now. That thing is thick. Oh my goodness. And the box has its dimensions that it stands at like 30 inches tall, I think. I don't think I have anywhere in this room that I'm in right now that would have room for a tower like this. That's nuts. And there's a classic Spider-Man buggy up there, because he's always got a buggy. Very good. So this skyline is built like a modular system. It looks like... I read rumors that there wasn't going to be a back wall like these new Harry Potter sets, but it seems like there are. There's some back wall paneling, so it will just stand as a giant, tall skyscraper. And each floor is built like its own little tiny, like its own box. Not tiny. It's built like its box, and it can stand and stack on top of each other. And it looks like it might have some pigs. I've seen images of people putting this in the middle of the city expert modulars. They look really cool. This thing's gonna look really great. Oh, especially... No, I was gonna say it would look really cool next to the Infinity War Sanctum Sanctorum and Peter's apartment, but this thing's gonna tower over those, so maybe not. I'm just going to briefly flick through some of the images now. I really like the sign. I like the little horn up at the top of the Daily Bugle. I think that looks really cool. The offices seem quite cramped. It like, height-wise looks really cool, but inside it looks quite cramped in each of the rooms. It looks like it would be $100 playset given what's inside, but... Well, I'd spend like $500 on this thing. J. Jonah's office looks quite cool. I like the colorings of Betty's office down the ground floor. There's like a printer copy room, which is really cool. As usual, in these Spider-Man buildings, they have these spider webs just hanging in the corners as if everyone's just going to deal with that. It looks like that's Peter's office, but it looks like he's got the framed image of Spider-Man there as well, and his camera. It kind of looks like that... I wonder if that's a reference to that Spider-Man meme. The actual office downstairs looks really cool. I like that elevator, actually. I wonder if that elevator seems to be on all of the floors. I wonder if that actually works. This office looks really cool. I like all the newspapers. I can't tell which ones are stickers and which ones are printed, but I really like little confined workstations like this in sets. And I'm looking at an image now of it unassembled, like kind of standing on its own outside of the tower. That looks really cool. The front pane looks really cool. There's that big stickered... Oh, Dr. Kurt Connors, Professor Miles Warren, and Scarlet Spider. Oh, that's cool. And it has J. Jonah on it. That looks very like the original Daily Bugle that has all the printed things of J. Jonah on there. And you can see that there's like a news broadcast of the Sinister Six, and looks like they're taking over. So some brief descriptions about that wall photo as with the J. Jonah. It looks like, I guess, he's interviewing Kirk Connors and Miles Warren and Scarlet Spider. But for people that don't then know, Kirk Connors he becomes the Lizard. We haven't got him as a minifigure, which would be really cool if we got a Lizard figure. And he's also talking to Miles Warren, who is the Jackal, I believe. I remember him in the Spectacular Spider-Man show, but he's definitely been in other stuff. I just thought that'd be like an interesting little tidbit for you guys. So moving on, we have another couple of shots of the buildings on their own. Again, there's a goddamn spider just hanging up in the corner, and Mysterio's jumping off, and no one's addressing the fact that these buildings are always swarmed with spiders. And the front wall panel or the entire thing looks like it comes out. It looks like Green Goblin can go flying through it. And he's got the really cool, I love that, this clear, translucent, like super long rod that you can connect onto Lego bricks. I remember they came in the studio's sets from the first Spider-Man movie, and that's to allow Spider-Man to, like, he can, like, swing around and do shit. Those are really cool pieces that we don't really get a lot of. They look really great on mocks and displays when you want to have characters flying. That's a really cool, it's nice that they're still including that. I can see that damn Spider Buggy, and it looks like Spider-Gwen and Spider-Ham are hanging out. They're fighting Venom. And now there's the top. And Doc Ock's arms look weird. They're built from... It looks like they're built from that new piece that was added in the DC minifigures that allows characters to be, like, posed. It just looks like it's a bunch of those. They're using them in the new Shang-Chi sets, I think, as well. So maybe they're going to start using it as actual pieces. Man, Doc Ock has a weird... history with the way that Lego's built his arms. Sometimes they're just like really flimsy, like in the Spider-Man 2 sets. Other times they have like actual fingers or hands at the end of them, which look kind of cool. There's that one where it's in the mech, and to give him the arms, you take the arms off the mech, and then it just looks like a mess. Whatever. I can see Firestar as well, so that's really cool. Just nice action shots of all of the characters kind of hanging out. And I think I'm back to the start now, so... Oh, and I don't think I really talked much about the newsstand at the bottom there. We have Sandman at the bottom as well. And we get a taxi, which looks like a better taxi than the one that we got in the bridge. The bridge one kind of sucks. It's cool that it's included, but it's way too small. That one looks really smooth, actually. It looks like a really nice... Let me just zoom in on that one. Looks like a really cool city build, actually. And Punisher's... Oh, okay, well, the cab driver is actually sitting in there. So, perfect. I already like it, because I think in the bridge one, it's like, Aunt May can fit in this, and she can't. And I can see Daredevil's up on the sign as well. This set just looks... That's really cool. I think that does it. So, overall, my thoughts are that this looks great. It doesn't blow my mind, because the Daily Bugle, at the end of the day, is just a tall building, and this set is just a tall building. I wonder if people have the same issues with this like they had with the Ghostbusters HQ. If it's just this gigantic, tall rectangle, how cool is it? But if you can have all of this stuff happening outside of it, I think it'll be more eye-catching for people. And I like the fire escape that's going down. I'm not convinced that the elevator does anything. I think it might just be for style and decoration. Love the figures. Figures are really great. I don't really have too much complaints about this. I don't know when I'll get it. I really want to. It's very expensive, and this is turning out to be a very, very tough year for having to pick between which sets you want to get and which sets you want to skip out. But this is definitely going to be on my radar. I have to. For Daredevil, I have to. I think that's me done.